good to be with you. It's Saturday the 17th of February and it's just past 6 o'clock, and welcome to our Saturday evening news programme. And firstly, a apology for last Saturday. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring you the news programme last Saturday as there was a widespread power cut here in White Regis that went off about 4:30, and here in the studio we only got power back at 6:30. With other areas not getting power back until after midnight by the use of a temporary generator, so we were unable to finish the preparation for the programme and to bring you the programme last week. But we are here live with you this Saturday for a normal programme. And in the news this week, voluntary and community sector organisations gathered in Dorchester last week to mark the second anniversary of the Russian invasion and to show their support for Ukrainian refugees living in Dorset. The event was organised and hosted by Help and Kindness in collaboration with Dorset Council's Ukrainian response team and Dorset Together. Mayana, one of the organisers from Help and Kindness and herself a refugee, said, "I am grateful to the amazing people who have done so much to support Ukrainian refugees during the last 2 years. We are lucky that we became a part of a friendly local community and feel safe here. Of course, I wish this war had never started, but understanding how we deal with the challenges is very important for future. I am very fortunate that Help and Kindness offered me an opportunity to be involved in working with communities, and that together we have achieved so much." Now, since the start of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine 2 years ago on the 24th of February 2022, Dorset has welcomed more than 1,000 Ukrainian refugees. But sadly, as the Russian missile attacks on the country and civilians continue, for many refugees returning to Ukraine continues to be an impossible dream. The event gave an opportunity to reflect on support and challenges for Ukrainians living in Dorset and reaffirmed that Dorset continues to stand with Ukraine. Guests included representatives from Dorset Council, Citizens Advice, Volunteer Centre Dorset, as well as the Race Equality Council volunteers and representatives from Ukrainian community groups from Shaftesbury, Weymouth, Dorchester, Bridport, Sherborne and Purbeck. 700 Ukrainian refugees are currently living in Dorset and part of a thriving Ukrainian community with a number of Ukrainian businesses, craft and food markets, as well as regular large-scale Ukrainian events. For many of the refugees, the challenges they faced on arrival in the UK have shifted from immediate need for accommodation, navigating the benefits system, to more long-term solutions such as stable employment and self-employment, pursuing training and qualifications, as well as more permanent housing options. However, there's still a need for more hosts and landlords who have spare rooms or properties to support Ukrainians. If you feel able to offer a room, an annex or a property, please contact Dorset Council's Ukrainian response team, and you can contact them on 01305 221 000. That's 01305 221 000. Now, a recent survey showed that 94% of hosts have found it to be a very rewarding experience, and 93% of Ukrainians have had a very positive experience of being here and settling in Dorset. Women giving birth at Dorset County Hospital have praised the high standards of care that they and their babies have received. Dorset County Hospital's maternity team scored some of the best results in the region in the 2023 Care Quality Commission survey of women's experience of maternity care in England. Dorset County Hospital services were rated better or the same as maternity services across the country in all areas that were surveyed, with several areas among the top results for the region. The survey asked women about their experiences of care across the whole pregnancy pathway, antenatal care, labour and birth and postnatal care. 124 responses were received for Dorset County Hospital. The survey results come after the hospital maternity services received a requiring improvement rating from CQC inspectors back in November 2023. Dorset County Hospital's Deputy Chief Nursing Officer Emma Hoyle said, "Our maternity team have been working hard on addressing the areas highlighted for improvement since the CQC inspection and have made excellent progress. It's heartening to receive such positive feedback from women having their babies at DCH and illustrates the high standards maintained by our maternity team. We are hugely proud of their commitment to providing the best possible care. Over 120 people braved the wet weather to visit Weymouth Town Council's first Love Your Weymouth Festival, with 6 talks on different topics from climate change to how to reuse, recycle and repair items. There were 16 exhibitors from a range of organisations such as Weymouth and Portland Marine Litter Project, Repair Cafe Weymouth and Ridge Water Energy, and many more. They all shared their knowledge and networked with the festival goers as well as other stallholders to see what can be done in Weymouth to help reduce the impacts and climate change. Tips on reducing food waste were also shared, as well as energy saving ideas and fitting solar panels. The Mayor, Kate Weller, said Love Your Weymouth Festival in the town hall was incredibly well attended and a terrific morning, a great opportunity for locals and visitors to discover how many extraordinary things go on in Weymouth. Who says nothing ever happens here? Now, Dorset Council's let's get the picture up there. Dorset Council's Volunteer Digital Champion Service had its busiest year in 2023 with more than 2,000 face-to-face appointments. The volunteer scheme, which also celebrates its 10th anniversary last year, held 2,063 appointments and saw more than 1,800 people. In previous years, the volunteers held on average between 1,000 and 1,500 sessions. Dorset Council has 45 volunteers based at libraries, community centres, GP surgeries and even at a cafe in Wareham. Their face-to-face sessions can be found from Ferndown in the east to Lyme Regis in the west, and from Portland in the south to Gillingham in the north, and of course many places in between. Community groups can also book a volunteer digital champion to speak to their members. The Volunteer Digital Champion Service was set up in 2013 when Dorset Council's Superfast team realised that rolling out broadband to people was not enough to get them online. When take-up figures of the new Superfast broadband were lower than expected, the team realised that some people needed to be motivated and supported to take up the new technology now at their disposal. And the Volunteer Digital Champion scheme was born. Since then, the army of volunteers has grown and is helping people not just to get online, but to also make the most of what is on offer in an increasingly digital world. The volunteers help with things like online shopping, Zoom meetings, comparison sites, apps, GP booking appointment systems, and getting to grips with new devices like smartphones, tablets and laptops. They also provide help over the phone via the digital hotline. That was particularly busy during the COVID pandemic. And the phone number for the digital hotline, if you want to get in touch with them, is 01305 221 048. That's 01305 221 048. Now, dog owners visiting Hardy's Birthplace Visitor Centre and Thorncombe Wood Local Nature Reserve can now leave home with their furry friends squeaky clean, thanks to a new self-service dog wash provided by Polygon Pets Limited. Fun, flexible and easy to use, this useful new self-service facility provides warm water infused with a range of shampoos and a 2-speed blow-dry function. Customers can select their choice of services and decide how many minutes are required, and you can pay by contactless payment or Apple Pay as well. The dog wash is located just behind the visitor centre main reception and is available 7 days a week. The facility was set up following successful installations at 2 of Dorset Council's other country parks at Avon Heath and Moors Valley. Polygon Pets say we are delighted to be working alongside the friendly team at Dorset Council and Hardy's Birthplace Visitor Centre at Thorncombe Woods to bring our new dog wash service to local residents and visitors alike. Our self-service dog wash machine truly makes life easier. Thorncombe Woods is a wonderful dog walking destination together with the dog-friendly Under the Greenwood Tree Cafe. There we go, a dog wash facility there. Now, Dorset Council's budget of £377 million for 2024-25 has been approved by councillors at the full council meeting on the 13th of February. This continues the council's commitment to maintain frontline services without the need for cuts to balance the budget. This year's budget setting exercise once again took place against a national background of extreme pressures for councils. These pressures include the high level of inflation, which affects the cost of delivering council services, and also the continued growth in need for services that we provide to some of the most vulnerable residents. Dorset Council provides around 450 different services to just under 380,000 residents. Now, while Dorset Council is not in the same financial position as many other councils across the UK, council tax will increase next year by just under 3% and the adult social care precept by 2%. The increase is equivalent to £1.82 extra per week for a Band D property. Dorset Council continues to provide a range of support for those residents hardest hit by the cost of living, including additional support for low-income households. This includes the revised council tax reduction scheme, which comes into effect on the 1st of April 2024, allowing eligible working-age households to claim up to 100% of their council tax bill. You can find out more about where the council's money goes to and how they spend it by going on to Google and put in Dorset Council Budget Explained. Dorset Council Budget Explained. Now, detectives from Dorset Police are continuing to investigate a report of a serious assault at an address in Weymouth and are appealing for witnesses or anyone with information to come forward. Dorset Police received a report at 11:09 on Sunday the 11th of February from the ambulance service of a man requiring medical treatment at an address in Lennox Street. It was reported that the victim, a local man aged in his 60s, had been assaulted and sustained a serious head injury. He was taken to hospital by air ambulance for treatment and remains in a serious but stable condition. Following inquiries, a man aged in his 40s from Weymouth was arrested on suspicion of inflicting grievous bodily harm with intent. He remains in police custody. Detective Inspector Dave Horn of Dorset County CID said, "We are continuing to investigate this incident, and from our inquiry so far we believe it occurred within an address and involved individuals who are known to each other. There is nothing to indicate any wider risk to the public. To assist our ongoing inquiries, I would appeal to anyone who witnessed or heard any suspicious activity in the area of Lennox Street between 12 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. on Sunday the 11th of February to please contact us." That's last Sunday, a week ago tomorrow. Now, anyone with information can contact Dorset Police on 101, or if they wish to give information anonymously, they could do this via the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Now, the coroner for Dorset is seeking the assistance of the public to find the next of kin of two people this week. Firstly, a woman who lived in Weymouth. Christine Knight, who was 74 years old, died at her home address in Broadway Close on Monday the 12th of February. Her death is not being treated as suspicious and there is no police investigation. Coroner's Officer Lucy Manuel said, "We are not treating the death as suspicious, however we have not been able to locate her next of kin." So that's Christine Knight, 74 years old, of Broadway Close. And next, the coroner is seeking assistance for the public to find next of kin of a man who lived in Dorchester. Keith Mitchell, who was 72 years old, died at his home address in Piddlehinton on Thursday the 15th of February. Again, his death is not being treated as suspicious and there is no police investigation. And again, the coroner's officer is struggling to locate any next of kin. So if you know any details of the next of kin or any relatives of Christine Knight, 74, of Broadway Close, Weymouth, and Keith Mitchell, 72 years old, from Piddlehinton, then the coroner's officers would like to hear from you, and you can contact them on 01202 123 900. That's 01202 123 900. Now, disabled children in Dorset requiring residential care are set to be welcomed into a newly built children's home. Chestnut House, a purpose-built home specifically designed for children who are disabled, is soon to open its doors in Weymouth. The building, designed to replicate the atmosphere of a real home, is now ready to offer a supportive environment for up to 3 young individuals between the ages of 8 and 17, in need of longer-term residential care. Dawn Tattersall, Residential Services Manager for Children's Services, said, "We've created a space with the young people in mind, incorporating interior decorations that also serve as sensory tools. We want every room to feel homely and inviting, and for this to be a really positive space where young people thrive for the time they are with us." A major focus of Chestnut House is to prepare its young people for a successful transition into adulthood. Whilst the children and young people are at Chestnut House, the staff will actively engage the young people in everyday activities, including cooking and fun outings. There are currently several youth practitioners vacancies available working at residential children's homes all over Dorset. And youth practitioners work alongside the children and young people who live in residential care to support them to thrive. Now, if you are interested in a job as a youth practitioner helping those in residential care, then if you go along to the Dorset Council website and look for the recruitment section, you will find some jobs listed there. Now, talking about working with children, have you ever thought about becoming a childminder? If you're looking for a rewarding career working with children that enables you to work from home, then childminding is a suitable option. With government startup grants available, there has never been a better time to start your childminding journey. Dorset Council will be holding 3 briefing sessions in February and March for Dorset Council residents to find out more about becoming a registered childminder. The briefing sessions will provide an overview of becoming a childminder and the registration process. The government startup grants that are available will also be explained. The childminding briefings are open to all Dorset Council residents and they're free to attend. If you'd like to find out more about the briefings, where they are and how you can go along, then drop an email to Early Years Advice, no dashes, all straight flowing through, Early Years Advice at dorsetcouncil.gov.uk. That's Early Years Advice at dorsetcouncil.gov.uk. Now, fellow broadcasters and hundreds of fans have been paying tribute to radio presenter Steve Wright, who's died at the age of 69, and who for 23 years presented Steve Wright in the afternoon on BBC Radio 2, together with Sunday Love Songs. We will all have our memories of Steve, including, for example, the often incredulous factoids and hilarious characters he featured on his afternoon shows, such as Mr. Angry, Elvis is in the Building, and The Old Woman, to name a few. Steve presented the once popular Radio 1 Roadshow from Weymouth in 1994. Now, Great Western Railway's innovative fast charge battery powered train has achieved a significant step. Just days after laying claims to a battery train UK distance record without recharging. The train demonstrated its capability on Wednesday this week by travelling a UK record of 86 miles on battery power alone and without recharging. Later in the week, the Class 230 battery train completed a 70-mile move from Long Marston to Reading Train Care Depot using just 45% of its battery capacity. GWR's team of specialist engineers on board the train claim it could have travelled more than 120 miles on a single charge. Now, GWR's engineering director, Dr. Simon Green, said, "We were delighted by how the battery train performed and during its series of test runs. In fact, it's fair to say it has surpassed the expectations of our team of engineers. Achieving these distances gives us great confidence as we press forward with this industry-leading fast charge technology." It's also worth noting that in reaching the 86 miles on Wednesday, the train was operating in a real-world environment at speeds of up to 60 miles an hour, stopping and starting over a hilly route with elevation changes of up to 200 metres. GWR's fast charge technology has been designed to solve the problem of delivering reliable battery-only trains capable of fulfilling timetable services on branch lines, eliminating the use of diesel traction and helping to meet the government and wider railways industry's target to reach net zero carbon emissions by 2050. The use of batteries for extended operation has typically been constrained by their range and meant widespread implementation has until now not been possible. It also negates the need for overhead electric lines, which are expensive, time-consuming to install and impact on the landscape. There we go. Local people are being encouraged to share memories of Portland's military past as the high-angled batteries on the top of the island are set for a £250,000 influx of cash to improve them. Built in the 1890s to help defend the island, they have been unused for decades and have succumbed to damage and graffiti in particular. Now, help is being requested by those who will develop some new interpretation panels to explain to visitors what the tunnels were part of and used for. Now, if you've got any insight into the tunnels and any old photographs or any old information, there will be a drop-in session on March the 7th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Portland Library. So that's March the 7th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Portland Library if you've got any photos or information about the high-level batteries on Portland. And finally, in the headlines tonight, there are rumours that popular period drama Downton Abbey is set for a comeback 9 years after the final episode aired on our screens. Downton Abbey was created by Dorset resident Julian Fellows, or as we should refer to him, Lord Fellows of West Stafford, to give him his correct title. It is rumoured that a new series may even be already in filming, but nobody involved with the series or ITV who have broadcast it are saying anything. So we will just have to wait and see. A return will be very popular with audiences in the UK and the USA. And that's the end of the headlines this evening. Now, before Christmas, we shared with you some short videos about some of the national landscapes based here in Dorset. This week's video looks across the whole of Dorset and is about celebrating what makes Dorset so special for everyone to enjoy, whether you live here or whether you come here to visit and enjoy the scenery. So this is a video from the National Landscapes team in the Dorset area, showing the wide variety of landscapes and views across Dorset. just makes you realise how lucky we are to live in Dorset with all those wonderful places to visit and all that wonderful scenery. I guess most of us take it for granted a lot of the time, and maybe that's given you some ideas of some places you can visit this year when the weather starts drying up and getting better as we get towards Easter and the summer. Maybe there's some places there that you'd like to go and explore. Now, there's more information on the National Landscapes website for Dorset, which is on www.dorset-nl.org.uk. So that's www.dorset-nl for nationallandscapes.org.uk. Now, one of the things that we were able to bring you last week was Andrew Wright's film review and preview. We managed to get that up for you. So do watch out. We will be posting those separately when we get the opportunity as well. But here is Andrew with this week's film review and preview for you.
Welcome to White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, the Bob Marley biopic arrives in cinemas. The film, titled Bob Marley One Love, stars Kingsley Ben-Adir as the megastar musician, and the film revolves around the star's life and death. The film also stars Lashana Lynch and James Norton. Now, the film has been in cinemas since Wednesday, but the film has received mixed reviews from critics who praise Kingsley Ben-Adir's performance, but criticise the fact that it's just the film's just a standard biopic that doesn't really do justice to its subject. The film is in cinemas now. Also, this Wednesday, the Marvel superhero film Madam Web arrived in cinemas. The film takes place in 2003 and revolves around FDNY paramedic Cassie Webb, who is forced to confront her past while trying to help 3 young women survive who are being hunted by a deadly adversary. The film stars Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Celeste O'Connor, Isabel Merced, Tahir Rahim, Emma Roberts and Adam Scott. Now, the film has received overwhelmingly negative reviews from critics, only amassing a 50% positive score amongst critics, while audiences sit around about, the 50%. Now, I went to see the film on Thursday, and I have to say, I had low expectations because it's Sony trying to do Marvel spin-offs like with Morbius or Kraven the Hunter, but this film exceeded my low expectations. I felt that the script was a bit off-putting and awkward, but on the whole the directing and cinematography were really solid, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. So I gave the film 3 stars out of 5. This week, a new trailer for the latest MonsterVerse film, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, was released. The film stars Rebecca Hall and Brian Tyree Henry reprising their roles from Godzilla vs. Kong, with Dan Stevens joining the film as a new character who's new to the franchise. The film revolves around Godzilla and Kong teaming up to fight a new colossal undiscovered threat hidden within our world. Now, from the looks of the trailer, it looks to be quite an exciting film. One of the nice things I found about the previous entries, specifically Godzilla vs. Kong, was that it doesn't matter about, sort of the quality of the script, because all we as the audience want to see is just some awesome kaiju fights. The film is in cinemas, I believe, somewhere between March 27th and 29th. It'll be coming out at the same time as Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming out in the UK. So go check it out, as I am planning to. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will have more film news to bring you. Now back... yes, I'll be covering the BAFTAs next week. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much there, Andrew, and yes, we'll hear about the BAFTAs next week. It's now time in the programme for this week's weekend weather forecast from the Met Office, and we're joined this week by Craig Snell.
Hello there, welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office. Well, as we go through this weekend, we will see a band of heavy rain move across many parts of the country, but with winds coming in from the southwest, it will be feeling mild, if not very mild, for the time of year. A brief ridge of high pressure does try to move in for Sunday, so Sunday's certainly the better day of the two, with the better chance of seeing some drier and brighter weather. But you can see further rain in the Atlantic, and that will move in as we go into the early part of next week. So back to Saturday afternoon, we can see the rain across many western parts of the country. To the east, it should be largely dry but rather cloudy. I think the best of any sunshine will be across the far northeast of Scotland. But despite the cloud and rain, it will be feeling mild wherever you are. Temperatures in the south actually reaching 14 or 15 degrees. Into the evening, the rain continues to spread its way eastward, some heavy rain at times. There are warnings in force across many parts of England and Wales, so some difficult driving conditions from time to time, and also the risk of some localised flooding. It does clear most of the country as we head towards the small hours of Sunday morning, but it will linger down towards the far south east of England and also along the south coast. Temperature-wise, in the north, falling down to about 7 to 9 degrees, but in the south, staying in double figures. These temperatures really are what we would expect during the course of the day this time of year, not during the night. So very mild for most of us. So Sunday morning, for many, a drier and brighter picture, but that rain will continue across the far southeastern part of the country. But it should clear here as we head towards lunchtime. So as I mentioned, Sunday certainly the better day of the two. Some sunny or bright spells from time to time. Still the risk of a few showers, especially during the middle of the day, but I think for most of us, as I said, certainly the better day of the two, and still feeling mild. Temperatures across the whole country generally in double figures. Could see highs reaching 15, potentially 16 degrees across the southeastern corner. Then a quick look into the early part of next week. As I mentioned, further rain will be spreading in. High pressure clings on for a time across the south, so a little bit drier and brighter for a time here, but towards the middle of the week, some heavy rain moving in. Also, an increasing risk of some strong winds from time to time. And then later on, we start to bring in a northwesterly flow, so temperatures will finally begin to fall back down to nearer to average for the time of year. But plenty of weather to get through before we get to there. Always keep up to date with the latest weather wherever you are on our app or on our website. But that's all for me for now. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much there, Craig, and we'll have a look at the weather down here on the south coast for this week. Still remains quite mild, sunny spells. Heavy rain though, including tomorrow and during the week, so very little change from what we've been used to for the last few months on and off. We get an occasional week where things are a little bit different, but it does seem to be that changeable weather, fairly mild and fairly wet. So make sure you take your brolly with you, or a coat if you're going out this week. Now, looking at our what's on, we have got coming up at Weymouth Pavilion, 23rd of February, Money for Nothing, a tribute to Dire Straits. 24th of February, One Night in Dublin. 25th of February, There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly. I think that's something for the children. 2nd of March, The Story of Guitar Heroes. 6th of March, the best of Hans Zimmer film and TV favourites. That's a London Film Orchestra down doing lots of film and TV themes. 7th of March, an evening with Anton de Beck and friends of Strictly Come Dancing, etc. fame. If you want to book for any of those, or to see what else Weymouth Pavilion has on in the months ahead, website is weymouthpavilion.com, and the box office, if you need to speak to it, is 01305 783 225. Now turning to the Know That Fort. Tomorrow is the last of its World War II week that's been running all of this week. 1st of March they have an artistic takeover. 2nd to 3rd of March, Castles and Dragons Fantasy Adventure. 17th of March, Science Day. 28th of March to the 14th of April, Easter Fun Fair, and much more coming up. Again, visit the Know The Fort website at www.knowthefort.org.uk for more information on those events and other things that are coming up. Now to Arts Reach. Lots going on for Arts Reach all over the county. all over the rural areas of Dorset predominantly, but some in our sort of area. 23rd of February, Mohand and Peter at Portersham Village Hall. 25th of February, an online event, so that's available to everybody. It's Tea with William Barnes, the Ridgeway Singers and Band. 2nd of March, Harbottle and Jones at West Stafford Village Hall. And 9th of March, Latch Pen at Powerstock Hut. Lots and lots of things on, and if you're prepared to travel a little bit out into rural Dorset, then there is loads and loads to see. The website is artsreach.co.uk. That's artsreach.co.uk. Now, church services in White Regis and surrounding area tomorrow. 8 o'clock communion at All Saints Church, 9:30 communion at All Saints Church, and 11 o'clock at St Edmund's Church. Now, we're nearly at the end of the programme. Just to remind you that our quiz is on at 7:30 tonight, so in about 40 minutes, or 50 minutes time, the stream will go live about 20 past 7, so that you can find it and be sitting comfortable for a prompt start at 7:30. It's free, it's very friendly for the family and the community, and all are welcome to join us. So do please join us at any time you wish on a Saturday evening at 7:30. Now, if you've got any news or events for us here for our weekly programme, do drop us a line at news@whiteregis.tv. We would love to hear from you. But other than that, it just leaves me to say have a good weekend and a good week ahead, and I look forward to being back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Good night.